All right, we are live. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. How is everybody? I hope everybody's here and having a wonderful day. I was just remember that I did not send this little reminder out to folks. So I'm doing that real quick because I'm sure most of you are watching commercials. There's always commercials the first couple of seconds anyway. So, good morning, Miss Cheryl. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks, Robin. Hope everyone's well.
Well, we are just finally warming up here and you are just getting ready for the cold, right?
Yep, long sleeves. First time this year, long sleeves. Well,
Long,
3/4 sleeves. Not
yeah.
that cold.
Oh, that's so
But
funny.
yes, it's cooling down.
Oh. So what does cooling down for you mean?
Well, the lowest we get at nighttime would be a -5 Celsius, which is, well, 0 is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So
Okay.
it in the low 20s.
Okay,
We
that's
never go.
pretty cold.
It's cool, yeah, it's cool.
That's getting
And that's at nighttime. The days don't get much below 15 degrees Celsius for about 2 weeks, and then it goes back up to 20 Celsius. I usually know them 20 would be 436, 68. So
Oh,
20 degrees, 68 degrees is the average, I guess, here where I am at winter during the day. So
okay.
it's not terribly cold. The nights get a bit colder.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hello,
and as soon as the sun
Shatika.
goes down. Hey,
Nice.
Shatika. Shatika?
Shatika. I think I'm saying that right, Shatika.
Shatika.
I'm so bad with people's names. Please let me know if I'm not saying that correctly. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Okay. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for those who are watching this. I always forget that. Thank you for those who watch this later because I do know several folks do come in and watch it later. I know Miss Linda is one. Several people go to church and then pick this up later on. So I appreciate
Mm.
you. I got my Mr. Magoo glasses on. I don't know where my pretty glasses are that I watch that I can see. I can with these are my prescription glasses. I cannot see the screen with my prescriptions. So I have to switch them out and somehow in the cleaning up and moving about of things, they're gone. So and
I have so many cheetah glasses, plus
mhm,
my prescription ones. And
yeah.
I actually prefer the cheetahs to the prescription ones.
Mhm.
Although I
Yeah.
use the prescription ones for driving. But
Yep.
yes.
Same. Exactly
And
same
if
thing.
I need to really zoom in on something, I will put 2 pairs on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
And it
absolutely.
works brilliantly,
I've
except when
absolutely
you're walking
noticed
around
that.
like this with one here and one here.
Well, and I have also noticed if I go to the theater, or the movies, I have to take everything off, and it's farther away is much clearer with nothing on. So,
Hmm.
yeah, it's quite interesting. I had LASIK surgery about 10 years ago, and, that took care of the distance because before I
Okay.
couldn't see close up or far away, and the
Mm.
LASIK did a really good job with the distance, and they did tell me I still was gonna have to have readers for close up. And then after that, I had to have cataract surgery.
Oh, wow.
And yeah. And then after that, I had to have another surgery on my eyes. So I've had like 6 surgeries on my eyes. But what has ended up happening is my up close, my distance vision is pretty darn good. I mean,
Mm.
I can read the numbers on the house across the street.
Okay.
But
Wow.
yeah, but my up close vision is pretty bad and it's different in each eye. So my prescription glasses are actually for my up close vision because with readers, I can do okay with readers, but
Mm.
because they're different, it's better to have the prescription. And
Definitely.
then and then this is considered a computer distance, which my prescription glasses are not made for.
Yes. Yes.
So thus the store-bought reader.
Yes.
So
Yes,
6 surgeries later, I'm still buying the grocery store glasses.
yeah.
I can't win. Cannot win. And
At least they're cheaper than the prescription glasses.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because sometimes when I'm crocheting, I find that these readers are better than my prescription glasses. It just depends on what I'm doing. Depends on what I'm doing. So,
Yeah.
anywho, let's see how we did on our squares last week. What did we do last week? I don't know.
Last week was the tiny triangles.
Oh, the tiny triangles. Nobody seemed to like the tiny triangles.
No.
I know you didn't like it. You didn't like it so much that you created your own square and did something completely different.
I did.
So let's look at yours.
Okay, so mine's called, I can't remember now if it's the rice stitch or the bamboo stitch. It's so long ago.
I'm going to make you big. Okay. Oh, that's so pretty. Yeah, it doesn't look like a tiny triangle.
No.
I
and
think
the other side, I like the other side as well. It's got a nice texture.
That's very
So if
nice.
this was in a blanket, it wouldn't matter which side it was, on.
Doesn't matter
I
at all.
like the stitches like that. So yes.
Doesn't matter
So
at
there
all.
are my tiny triangles.
They are. And I noticed I watched Pinky Jean's video this morning, and it happened that hers were done in white and you could really see the triangles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I think that and we already know that we know that in crochet as well. Often the color, your yarn makes a difference in how things look when you're making your stitches. You need to make sure that your yarn and your stitches match.
Exactly.
And when we created this, we picked out our yarn, and I know you had mentioned, I'm like, oh, I love this one variegated yarn. Where's my bag? And I was excited about using this one variegated yarn. And you had said, that's not going to work on a lot of the stuff. And I'm like, ooh, I didn't even think about that. So I made this my border color. And I was just thinking how pretty the yarn was. And I hadn't even thought about how it was going to look with the different stitches.
Yes. And also your needle size can affect how the stitch looks as well. So if you want something nice and loose and drapey, that's great. But some stitches won't take that because they need to be a bit tighter to show their definition. So it really is a game of, mixing and matching your yarn, your weight of needle or yarn weight, colours, and the stitch itself, which is why I think people like other people's patterns. It's already done. Already done for you. The colour, the needle size and the yarn and the stitches.
That's why samples are so important. That's why samples are so important. And that's why when somebody says, I made this and this is the yarn I used and this is the size hook I used, and then you go, okay, but I'm going to make it out of this, and then it doesn't look right. Then you're disappointed. That's why that's.
Or you think that looks a bit stiff. I'm going to go up a couple of hook sizes. And it doesn't look as good.
It doesn't look as good.
Not meant to be lacy. Yes. Anyway.
And even with this, I'm using 2 different needle sizes, and I shouldn't have to because I'm using the exact same brand of yarn. I'm using Hirschner's worsted, but I'm using 5 different colors, and 2 of the colors work up differently than the others. And so when I use those colors, I use a different needle. So these colors use this needle and these colors use this needle. It shouldn't matter, but it absolutely does. It absolutely does. And I've, you taught me, don't worry about it. Just use the tools that work correctly. And, it's just like when you go to the store, don't worry about what size it says on the label. Just buy the size that fits. And that's what I have to do here. Just use the tool that works. I've got hair everywhere. That's nothing new. Hair everywhere. So that's just what I do. I just know this needle works with this yarn, and otherwise it would be a mess. It would be a mess.
Good morning, Paula.
Hi, Paula. So we're just showing off our our blocks for this week. Miss Cheryl did not like the way the tiny triangles worked up, so she made up her own thing, as we know she is wont to do.
Yeah.
We've seen that before. So I actually, this is so funny, you guys, you're not going to believe it. I did the tiny triangles, and my yarn this week was pumpkin, and I loved the color. I loved the way it worked up. I like my tiny triangles.
Oh, that's good. Nice.
Is everybody sitting down? Are you ready? Are you ready? I did not make a single mistake. Not a single, I know, right? In the whole entire block. I was so proud of myself. I was so proud of myself. I got the whole block done. I was so excited, and I casted it off, and I was showing it to Mister, and I go, look, I didn't make a single mistake. And then I realized I didn't do the border.
No.
I casted it off, and I had not done the border.
Oh, dear.
What a dork. So I did what any good crocheter would do, and I crocheted my border.
Yeah.
I know there's a way to do it. I know there's a way to go back and figure it out, but I did not have Miss Cheryl to show me how. And I was disgusted, and I was so mad at myself.
You use the tools and the skills that you've got.
I had at hand. Exactly. I used the tools and the skills that I had, and I just made it work. And
Problem solving.
I think the average person, see, I think it looks just fine. There's my knit border, and there's my crochet border. It looks fine.
It looks fine.
A few rows
no
back.
One's going to be looking at it that closely, and if they are, it's their problem.
I was like, no! I couldn't believe it.
But then it will fit in with the rest of the blanket squares. I mean,
yeah.
If you had one without a mistake, it's going to stand out like a sore thumb.
Absolutely. Yeah, it has to have, every single square has to have a mistake. I couldn't believe it. But I actually enjoyed this block. I actually did. Yeah. But you're right, it doesn't really show up much.
And I was using a finer yarn, so it was the little squares or triangle bits were smaller still.
Yeah. So anyhow, it's done. It's done. And then, I go around each square with 3 rows of crochet anyway. So I knew that the crocheted border wasn't going to be that big of a deal. So I did and I had done with this block, you had to end on a certain row number. And mine was a little tiny bit short on size. And so I did an extra knit row anyway. And so I kind of have, so here's my extra knit row. So you have that knit row anyway right there.
Well, there's your border.
There's my border. Hello, Lilu.
Hi, Mary.
Lilu Kitty is out here visiting. She would like one of us to go in and feed her because, she's starving to death. Nobody ever feeds her. And her mommy's still sleeping. So I'll go in there and she'll still have food in her bowl. But yeah, so this, I think and even though this is a darker color yarn, I think the definition on it is fine. I think if it had been done in the gray, that it probably would not have shown up as much than the way it worked. And that's what I had started to say. Miss Pinky Jean, it just happened that hers was in white this week. And I was going to say now, at least with me, when I was working this up, I charted out my colors because I wanted to lay my colors out in a certain order. And so I've charted out my colors, not taking any mind to what block we were doing. For one thing, the color layout was what was important. And then as we got into it, the blocks are all pretty much interchangeable anyway.
Yes.
However, we have learned that with this particular block, it really does look better in a lighter color. So I think Pinky got lucky that her white block was this one.
Mm.
So I'm very happy for her that that's the way that worked out. Let me see. I'm going to put this somewhere so I don't lose it. I'm done with this side, so I can put it over here. We are really getting quite a stack of these. I don't want to. And I have not, I've got mine all blocked. I've got all my squares blocked up until just these last couple. And so look at this, you guys. Look at this. It almost looks like we're accomplishing something. For a while there, I was feeling like we were not. But now, you know, after I got them all blocked and look at that. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. That goes over here. No, that goes over here. So, all right. So next week is
it a broken
diagonal? I want to get my, diagonal. What we're working on now. Diagonal broken rib square. Yeah, because we just did the diagonal rib. Now we're doing the diagonal broken rib.
Yes.
Okay.
And that one looks like this.
Oh, let me make you big. Okay, go up. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I see.
It's kind of like steps.
Yeah. That
and
looks
the back. Good. Not too bad. Similar on the back.
Okay. That looks really good. That looks really nice.
And there were no problems with the pattern on that one. No, I have no notes.
No notes. Okay. No notes. And I have a note that we're casting on 32 with that one. Perfect. Yes. Casting on 32. Okay. Hey, Miss Mary. Did you get your tiny triangles done, Mary? Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Yeah, that looks really good, Cheryl. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. It's on my other screen, it's just a little bit behind. And I can see it more clearly on the other screen. It's really pretty. Okay. Let's talk about the make along. Okay. I love it. I love how Mary works. And trust me, I have done that. Mary made one Friday night, one Saturday night. You are not the only one who is frantically knitting Saturday night. So I've got something to show on my live Sunday morning. Full of mistakes. Full of mistakes. Okay. This is the official announcement. Official. I guess that's not the announcement because we've already announced. But this is the information. Okay. I have to say something. So yesterday I dropped a short, just a silly little short on my channel, on this channel.
I like it. It's so happy.
It's cute. This is the first time I've ever done one of those where you show the yarn and then you show the finished project. And I didn't even know what I was doing. It turned out okay. It's cute. I would appreciate if you guys would go over there and watch it. It's cute. But I cannot believe somebody found something to complain about on that short. And I had to respond, and I think I responded appropriately. I think I did. I probably shouldn't have responded. You know, when somebody makes those comments, as a creator, we're told don't engage. I engaged.
I think I would have too.
I engaged. Let's just say I engaged. But I would appreciate if you guys would go over and watch that. And engage. I invite you to engage. I just found her comment to be Really?
It's
Really?
it's odd, yes. For our community, it's
Yeah.
odd.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Oh, dear.
anyway,
Oh,
okay. We are getting ready for our make along. Our make along. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I'm so looking forward to doing yours.
And I'm scared to death to do yours.
No.
Let's be honest. I'm terrified to do yours. This is so easy for you guys. It's so pretty and it's so easy. It's so easy. Cheryl's is stunning. It's stunning.
Thank you, but it's not any more stunning than yours.
Ugh.
It has a few different stitches, but no, I think
Super easy. Okay, here's the deets. Mine ended up being 6 feet long, which is what I wanted. And I started over multiple times to get it this way because it kept not being as long as I wanted it to be. So 6 feet long, and I forgot how wide. Let me measure it again. I think it's 16 inches wide.
I think you said 16.
Yeah, where's my trusty tape measure? Boy, I'll tell you what, I love this thing. I got this last year at the Yarny Social. It was a gift we got in our little basket, and I use this thing all the time when I haven't lost it. Yeah, 16. So 16 inches wide and 6 feet long. I used DK. Of course, I used the Anthem DK. The Anthem DK that we sell at the store, $4.50 and 10% off. So it makes it, I don't know, $4.05. I used I used 4 skeins of it, and I had this much left over. So you're not up against the wall at all on this thing. Quite a bit left over. And I used a 5.5 hook. I started out with the smaller hook, but it was too dense. It wasn't drapey enough. So I went up. Actually, I went up a couple of hook sizes because I started out with a G, and then and then I bumped to an H, and then I bumped to an I, and the I was perfect. The I was the perfect. And I'll tell you what, my hand going from this to this, I felt like I was using a log.
Yeah.
So the first couple of rows, I felt like, oh my Lord, this is so loose. So the first couple of rows felt super loose but once I got going on it, it felt perfect. And you can tell that it's got a nice drape.
It's got a lovely drape.
Yeah, you want that on a shawl. You want it to have a little, you don't want it all completely loose and sloppy, but it's got a nice drape to it. And yes, it still has stitch markers in it. Good morning, Deb. Okay, I'll tell you guys because you're all friends. So when you go and you look at the my little short and read the nasty comment from that lady, I can't believe she said that. I mean, it was just pure nasty. I should have taken the comment down instead of engaging, but I didn't. I engaged. I may take her comment down later. But after you guys all go give her thumbs downs. What I expected was somebody would notice, because as soon as I put the video up, I noticed this red stitch marker. But I left the stitch markers in it because I wanted to show you guys how far each of the each skein of yarn. So the red stitch marker is 2 skeins of yarn. And then this was 3 skeins of yarn. And then this was, finishing it was 4 skeins of yarn. And so I was being very careful when I was holding the shawl. I was trying to be careful not to show the stitch marker. And then I'm all done and I can see the red stitch marker in the video.
I don't think anyone will notice. It probably looks like it's your shirt or the background because of the holes in it. Yeah. So did it work out to be 1 skein of yarn per repeat?
A little bit more. You got a little more than a full repeat on each skein of yarn. And that's why you end up with quite a bit, a nice amount left. Now, I also wanted to show you guys this. This is a raw edge. This is the raw edge. I didn't do anything to that edge. And on this edge, I went and did a single crochet.
Oh, that looks heaps better.
Right? And I wanted to show you guys and there's plenty of yarn left. And I did it that way just to show you guys the difference. Just a little, and I didn't do any fancy counting or anything. I just went, yep, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, whatever. And I couldn't believe the difference it made. Look at that. Look at the difference that made just in tidying it up. So it doesn't matter if you do it or don't do it, or if you want to do a half double or a double, or maybe do a little scallop shell across it, whatever you want to do there.
You can even put a little fringe along there too.
Yep. I'm not a fringe person, so I didn't.
Neither am I. No.
Yeah, some tassels across there. If you want to put some people like to put those big tassels at the what that does do is give you a little weight when you're flipping that thing back. But what I find it does is it gets tangled up in stuff.
I'd probably hit myself in the back of the head with it as I'm flinging it around.
So I was trying to decide if I wanted to do some kind of a bordery thing, but I don't, because I want the attention to go on to this, not on a border. And often when I've made blankets over in my lifetime, I have done a little shell stitch border. Almost every time I've done a blanket, I've done a shell stitch border on the edge. And I looked at this and I thought, nope, it doesn't need it, because you've got the nice clean edge of that double crochet on both sides. And I just don't think it needs it. But when I got
I think the iris stitch is the focus, and the shell would take away from that.
Exactly. I thought the same thing. But when I saw that edge, I thought it needs that single crochet edging on there. And so I just threw that on real quick, and it really, you can really see the difference there. It just tidies it right up. So I left one off so you guys could see the difference there. See how much nicer it looks.
And so what hook size did you use again, Robin?
I used the 5.5 and
5.5.
I
agree, Mary. I'm terrible with fringes. I'll sit there and I'll fiddle with them, and then I'll plait them, and then I'll plait the plaits, and then it looks terrible by the time I finish with it. And I just do it, or I twist them and twirl them.
And then you wash it and it just turns into a big old knot.
Yes.
And if I can't wash something, it's going to be a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. So I use, like I said, excuse me, I use 4 skeins of the DK weight. This is 100 grams, 248 yards. I think this is a pretty solid 3 weight. I found this a pretty solid 3 weight to work with. It's 100% acrylic, non-pilling, machine wash and dryable. This is a really nice product. And we've got about 20 different colors in the store. I do have a colors. And by the way, right now, Dana's she's doing a giveaway of 6 skeins of this. And she's doing the drawing on Monday. Go over there, pop over to Dana's. I should have put a link to her video. But if you pop over to Dana's channel, she is doing a giveaway for this, and you can enter once a day. And she's going to do a drawing for 6 skeins of this. And you can pick out any color that we've got in stock. And there's some beautiful colors there, you guys. And there's still 6 skeins. I'm trying to decide because I keep using this color for stuff. But there are still 6 skeins of this color as well. And you can pick out 6 skeins of any color you want that we have in stock. And we will pop it over to you. I sent in order to Georgia the other day, and it only took 2 days to get there. So there's plenty of time to get this
Wow.
to you before we start. And machine wash and dryable, non-pilling. This works up super nice. If I did a swatch in a 4-weight, and I think you're probably going to need 5 skeins if you do it in a 4-weight. At least 5 skeins. I would go. I would plan on 5. In a mandala, you're probably, the what's it called? Where's my bag? Where's my bag? I brought it in. If you were going to use, because I had some of this left over, this stuff, I would expect at least 2 of these, possibly 3, if you got a couple of these laying around. And I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it'd probably be fine with the color changes, because the little bit that I worked up you couldn't actually see. I mean, it was just barely starting to do the color changes. Oh, I know something that I wanted to tell you. Now, I'm a blanket gal. So making blankets and doing this 200 and whatever, what did we decide? It was
229?
I think it was 229. I think that was the chain. For some people, that is daunting. It was no big deal for us because we do blankets. So that's no big deal. But if you wanted to do it this way and work like this, like scarf direction, you could absolutely do that. Like, especially if you weren't sure how long you wanted it to be, that would be absolutely something you could do. I think you're going to lose the feel of the iris stitch. I like this. The row of the iris stitch, but it's absolutely something you could do. And for some people, doing that big row, it hurts their brain. It hurts their brain. Yes. And I get that. There are things that hurts people's brain. I can't work with like the mandala with that instant color change. That hurts my brain. I really, really struggle with that. So I understand.
See, that doesn't bother me unless it's in a really noticeable place.
Yeah.
But generally that doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. I cannot do it. I absolutely cannot do it. So I understand if that's something that's an issue for you. So yeah.
And I think when you go doing it the short way, there's that instant gratification of, look, I'm progressing. Whereas you've done 5 rows that way, you may have done 1.5 the other way. And yes, if you're the sort of person who likes the appeal of I'm getting through this really quickly, then blankets probably aren't your thing.
Right. Yeah. If you need to see a lot of distance quickly, although I was really surprised with this weight of yarn and this size of hook, this thing works up pretty quick. I started because I started this thing over like 3 or 4 times. And I mean, started over, had finished over. I finished an entire skein of yarn 3 times and tore it out and began again. And so with this finished one, was it last week that I started it?
A little while. Yeah.
It wasn't very long. I think it took me less than a week to do this. So it really does move along quickly. I was looking for, I was trying to think when that note was, because when I finished enough to wrap around me and realized that it wasn't long enough.
Yes.
And it was only 5 feet long. And I'm like, nope, that's not going to work. Okay, here's the picture. Is there a date? when I took that picture, there's no date on there. Of course not. So, but it was not very long since I started. Oh, here, there will be a date on here. I started it. I started this one on the 20th. So exactly a week.
And you've been finished a couple of days though, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so less than a week.
Yeah, less than a week. Yep, it works up super fast. Super, super fast. So, and I mean, there was 1 or 2 days where I got to work on it quite a bit, but there was a couple days when I didn't work on it a long, long time. Yeah. So it's a pretty quick workup. It's I don't want to say how many row repeat because I don't have it in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. But once you get the pattern down, you've got it.
Yes. I mean, was it 3 rows of the iris stitch? 2 rows of the double crochet? Did you get rid of the half doubles?
No, it's there.
No,
it's still there.
There as well.
Yeah. 1, 2. So really you're doing half doubles, doubles, and the iris stitch. So if you can do a half double and you can do a double, you can do this. That's the only stitches you need to know how to do is a half double and a double. And of course your chain. Yes. I don't count the chain as a stitch, but apparently it is officially a stitch. So yes. So you need to know how to do a chain, you need to know how to do a double, and you need to know how to do a half double. And that's it for this one.
Yeah, excellent. So with the shawl, I've done, whoops, let's see if I can hold it up there.
Let me make you big.
I don't know that I was at the end last time.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Now I can't see, so I'm sorry if it's going too fast.
Oh, so pretty.
And unlike Robin's, this isn't a summer or spring shawl. This one's more a winter shawl, and so it's thicker. This is a worsted weight yarn, and it's not as drapey. It's got more body to it, and that's because some of the stitches need it, like the star stitch. If you go up too large, it loses its definition. So I used, for the cream one, I used NACO, it's back to front, Mona Lisa, and I used almost all of 5 of these. And these have, I'll go to this one, I wrote it down bigger on my notepad. So I used, 5 whole skeins, a 6mm knitting needle, which is a size 10 US. And I also used a 4mm needle, which is a size 6 US. And that smaller needle is for 1 row in particular, just after the star stitch, just after the chain stitch. If you keep the same needle size, it extends the stitch so it looks like it's been pulled out of shape. But if you use the smaller needle for just that row, it brings it back down to size. It'll all be in the pattern, and there'll be videos as well. So 5 of these, a 6mm, 4mm needle, about 120 centimeters in length. I should have converted that. 120 centimeters, 48.
What is it? Now tell me what it was again.
120 centimeters.
Centimeters. So that's cm, 2 inches.
48 maybe.
127 50.
Just 120.
47.
Oh, 47 inches.
Mhm.
And I think they sell them in 48 length. So if you've got interchangeable needles, that's really good. You just need the 120 centimeter cord, which is measured with the needles attached, apparently.
Okay.
And if you've got a spare smaller one as well, that's good for the start, because you don't want,
Right.
all that length at the start. And this one's measurements from top to bottom is 32 inches, and the wingspan is 85 inches at the top. So yes, and it's snuggly and warm, and I'm waiting for the weather to cool down so I can just. It's like wearing a blanket, really, when you've got it on. It's
That's
so
gonna be
nice.
that's 7 feet wide, you guys.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's nice.
Because even
And
this one
I've
being 6
also,
feet, I was like, oh, this thing could have been a little longer. I would have liked it. It would have been nice a little longer, but you can only do.
well, I'm thinking with mine, it would have been nice if it was rectangular, not triangular. So that was 5 skeins of the number 4 weight. And I'm also starting it in a DK weight. So this is my DK weight one.
Wow.
There we go.
And it's nice to see that looks just as nice in the dark yarn as it does in the light yarn, because I was worried about that.
Oh, okay. I chose this yarn just as I was just going to use it as a test. And so I just used some yarn that I had for a couple of years that's just sitting in one of my drawers. And I started knitting with it. I thought, I really like this color. And so I will actually continue and make the whole shawl again in this color. And that's one skein of yarn. That was Hobie's Tivoli yarn, which is now called Amigo. So Tivoli, that tells you how long I've had it. The colors aren't the color numbers aren't the same, but I think this one was something like Vivier. I don't know. It started with a V. And this is a bit on the light side for a DK, because this, being 50 grams, has 175 meters in 50 grams. So that's 350 meters in 100 grams. That's a very light.
Yeah, because this is 227 meters in 100.
Exactly. And I bought a couple of others as well. This is the Stylecraft DK.
Yeah, that's what I used for Lizzie.
Yes, I did too. That's where this one's from.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, I need to change glasses. Okay, so DK. Now I won't be able to find it. So this one is 295 meters for 100 grams. And this one is an Australian one, DK Marvel. And it is a DK at 270. So this one it's almost between a 2 and a 3.
Mm-hmm.
So for a DK weight, I've estimated, because I haven't finished yet, but I've estimated that you'll probably need 3 100-gram balls or 6 50-gram balls, about 1,000 meters. And for this one, I'm using a 4mm needle. A 4.5 millimeter needle, which is a 7 US, and my smaller needle is a 3.5 millimeter, which is a size 4 US. And again, it's just for the one row. And this one's working up really nice. So that's 50 grams. So one whole skein gets
that's quite a bit.
Almost halfway.
Wow.
No. Well, yes, almost halfway in length,
Hmm.
but as it gets wider, it
Sure. Sure.
uses more. So I'm really happy with that. I surprise myself when I design anything. I'm surprised if it turns out, if it looks halfway decent. It just surprises me. Real designers can do that sort of thing, not me. So yes. Now I can see you guys again. So the pattern is written. It's about 11 pages long at the moment, but there's a lot of white space on the pages. So if you print it out, there'll be sort of like, one page for this star stitch, and it doesn't take up the whole page, or there'll be one stitch for this eyelet stitch, just so that you can make your own notes, and so you're not overwhelmed with, the number of rows in the pattern. It's designed for people like Robin and the people who are doing this knit along for the anthology knit along, but it should be interesting enough for anyone at any level for it to hold interest. There'll just be more description than experienced knitters need in there, and that's just to give you the confidence that you can do these stitches. If it's broken down and explained, I'm confident that you can do it. So it's about 11 pages long at the moment, 3 pages of abbreviations. You've got no idea how hard it is to explain how to do something simple, like, do a backward loop. So how do you write the words for that so that someone can do it? I got my husband I wrote it, and I said, Steve, can you try this and see what happens? And he's got the needles and he's got the yarn and he's going like this. And it's like, okay, my instructions don't say to do that. But that's how he interpreted them. So, yeah, I don't explain very well in writing, apparently. So that's why there's a lot of detail. It should be up on Ravelry, hopefully by next Saturday, ready to start everything. And I'm going to be filming the videos on how to do things. One thing I'm so pleased with, I don't like the garter tab, so mine doesn't start with that. And there is another wonderful YouTuber. Her name is Marina from 10 Rows a Day. I love watching her. And she's come up with an alternative to the garter tab, and I like it. So I contacted her and said, hey, do you mind if I use this in my shawl and show it in some videos? And she was generous enough to say, yep, go for it, So I'll link her in my video and mention her channel. But it just shows the generosity of spirit, when she didn't have to. She designed this method. So, and it's very simple. And I like it a lot better than the garter tab. So there'll be lots of new things, hopefully, for everyone to find something of interest in. And I'm really looking forward to starting it. And I love your feedback on the written pattern, on the videos, what level you are as a knitter. Say, look, I'm a beginning knitter. This is too hard. Can you explain it in a different way? Or, well, I guess if you come back and you say this is really boring, I'll say, well, just go find a project to do. I mean, no one's twisting your arm to do it. But yeah, I really appreciate feedback, because I've never written a pattern for anyone else to look at. I just do my shorthand. And I haven't really done a lot of videos showing how to do certain stitches and things like that. So
Except when I get
I'm
does a
waffling
video so
on.
that I can figure it out.
Yes, I hope so. I hope that's my intention. I don't like when people do it and you can't see what they're doing, and they're holding the things here, and you go, well, where did that go? But I know it's hard to do tutorials as well. I've done a couple in the past, and it's like you just don't realize until you're doing it how awkward it is looking through the camera going down and trying to show things without your fingers in the way, and the stitches not slipping off, and the yarn doing what it's supposed to do. Anyway, it'll be a learning adventure for all of us.
And the light being right.
Sorry?
And the light being good.
Oh, yes. Yes. And you just don't forget your words. And okay, that was about 3 seconds of silence. So whether you choose to do the knit one or the crochet one or both.
Or both. Some people are doing both.
Yeah. Because there's no time limit. You do it at your own pace. It's not like a weekly thing.
Yes. I did want to say that this isn't one of those where a certain amount drops each week. Not like this thing where we've got a block every week. And we are still, if you're doing this, a couple of weeks ago, I thought nobody but me and Miss Pinky Jean were doing this. And, I thought Cheryl was doing it out of the kindness of her heart and just so that I could figure this stuff out. And I thought we were done. And then I said, okay, what do you guys think? And people are going, no, I'm doing it. I'm like, oh, okay, then we'll keep doing it. And so we will still do this. We're still doing this block every week, apparently until the end of time.
Yes.
I don't think this thing's ever going to end, but no, we're still doing these things. And this is just an add-on. So yes. I have my beautiful finished one. And I will have a little baby sample one to show you guys next week, to show you how to do what this is. And I am coming up with a little, it's the written instructions. Unlike hers, mine will be this long because it's that simple. I do have it written up. I will type it up. There are 2 very important things. The first one is getting your multiples right, because you can make this as big or as small as you want. If you just want to make this a little whoopie, whoops-de-doo scarf, and that's fine. You can do that. If you want to make this thing, like I said, 7 feet long, this one's 6 feet, but 7 feet might actually have been the better choice. Well, I'm going to give you the multiples so you can make this 7 feet long if you want. I may, like I said, this is 16 wide. I'm toying with the idea of doing one more skein and making it closer to 20 inches wide. Because you guys know I work at the theater and I'm always cold. And, just a couple more inches might be just right. And I've got that other skein, so I may make it one more wide. But you can do anything you want with this. That's the joy of this particular pattern. It is super, super versatile. Now, Miss Amber, because she is who she is turning hers into a poncho. I don't know how.
She's cutting slits.
She's going to she's making 2 of them, I guess, and sewing it together or some such thing. I don't know. It'll be amazing. And so I don't know exactly what she's doing, but it's going to look cool. So, and I think she's doing it where she's going to go up this way like that, and then do something like that. I don't know.
With this shawl, if you do it in the DK weight, it won't be as long. I think I calculated it would be 27 inches long, not the 32 of the DK of the worsted weight one. But the way it's designed, you can slot in extra. So if you like, say, this particular ridge pattern, you can slot that in again somewhere else as well, and just give it that little bit of extra length. So you will, to get it down to the length that you want. So you can repeat the patterns. The only one that I probably wouldn't repeat is the last one, because the last one is the honeycomb stitch. I mean, you could do it, but I kind of had it as the last border, like this is the finished one. It only appears once.
Oh, pretty.
but it's a fun one to do. This is probably the most bang for your buck in It's easy, but it's fun. And I thought because there's so many stitches, I can't remember how many, like 200, 300 and something by the time you're getting to the end. And you don't want to be doing something that's slow and tedious by the time you just want to get the thing
You want to be done,
You want to be done. And this one is basically on the forward rows, you only knit every fourth stitch. 3 of them you slip.
Oh.
Yeah. And then you knit, you purl the back.
Oh,
and you do that.
Okay.
Purl the back. And then you go underneath those loops that you've got on the fourth row. So it works up really quick. And I find it fun. If you can say that about a stitch, a knit stitch or a crochet stitch.
Yeah, that's the way I felt about when I started designing this, and you guys, this is the first thing I have ever designed. I was
done really well.
So proud of this. And when I started working this up, it was totally different. It was complete different stitches. And then I remembered how much I love this iris stitch. And I'm like, oh, starting over, I wanted to incorporate the iris stitch. And I was working it in with the other stitch. And finally, I just completely dropped the other stitch and just went with the iris stitch. It's just so pretty. And for a spring shawl and
yes,
for it to be the lightness of it and the design, the prettiness of it, the openness of it, this stitch worked perfectly. And plus the way it looks and the ease of the stitch, it just worked out well. Excuse me. So, and again, the only trickiness is you've got to have the right number of stitches for your multiple at the beginning so you can adjust the size you want. And then at the turn on your first set of the first row of irises. And if you mess it up, I can show you how to fix it. It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Not a problem there.
Not a problem. Now, Miss Cheryl is going to, when we get to different areas in the shawl, she's going to show us how to do the different things, because as we know, there's a good chance that somebody is going to need help with these things.
Okay. In true confession, I've been, so there's a spine of holes down, which is the spine, and I've just stuffed up there. I don't have a hole there. I just did something wrong. It's my own pattern. I can't even follow it. It's like, that's okay. I don't care.
Looks good to me. Kind of like doing your where did it go? Kind of like casting off before you did your border stitch.
Yes.
I finally did a square. I finally did a knit square with no mistakes. No mistakes.
Until the end.
And then I cast it off and I had done my border stitch.
Yeah.
So I just crocheted a border stitch. Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Who cares?
Yes.
This thing is gonna. I don't know what's worse, this or my knit Franken blanket. But I tell you what, the cats that is the warm. That Franken blanket is the warmest blanket ever, because it's made with that Woolies Thick and Quick. It is so thick and so cuddly and so warm. So I love and hate that blanket all at the same time. I'll tell you, I grab when I'm cold. That's the blanket I grab, that Franken blanket. And because it is the Franken blanket, I don't care if the cats lay on it. I don't care if it ends up on the floor. It's not like Lizzie, who's all nice and tidy inside of a bag tucked away in the other room. That's never going to see the light of day because I don't want anything to happen to it. But hey, Miss Kimber, do I do dishcloths? You betcha I do. We've got a beautiful. Oh man. We have the most beautiful cotton yarn. It is called Cotton Heritage. Is coming to my mind, and that's not the right one. That's the sock yarn. It is called Nifty Cotton. It is called Nifty Cotton. We've got the Nifty Cotton, and then we also have the Nifty Cotton. It's a beautiful color mix. The Nifty Cotton Effects. And it's the 100% cotton. that we would use for kitchen cotton stuff. And it is so soft to work with. It is so soft. It's equivalent to like the 24/7 cotton, but it isn't mercerized. So you can use it for your kitchen items. And it is, you could also use it for, baby sweater or baby blankets. It's that nice.
Wow.
Cotton. It is that nice of a cotton. And it is inexpensive. Of course, I don't know off the top of my head the price. I don't think I've got it on this list. But I want to say that it is in the $9 range. Oh, it is $9 for the effects, and it's $8.50 for the nifty cotton for 100 gram skein. And those do come in the twisted skeins, so you do want to ball those up. Yeah. But yeah, that is super, super nice yarn. I fell in love with it. I bought some of that from our local yarn shop, the one that caught on fire. They are still down. You guys, they are going to be, they have been closed since the last week of February, and we're coming up into May. They're able to sell some things online. And I have ordered some things from them. But some things, because our little yarn store we're going to have a pretty limited line of yarn. And if I need Malabringo, I order it from them. So I'm still buying from my local yarn shop as well. And it's called Paradise Fibers. And anything that I don't have in my store, I'm sending people to Paradise Fibers, and that's where I'm going to do my knitting classes. And when my girlfriends want to buy me something for my birthday, Miss Kimberly, I would like a gift card to Paradise Fibers. Paradise Fibers. By the way, you guys, Malabringo is raising their prices on the 1st. So if you're wanting anything, now's the time. So you've got just a couple of days, and I still need to go get 2 colors. I started a project before the fire, and it needed 3 colors. Well, I just bought the one, and I was going to start the brim of a hat, and I thought, I'll get the other 2, in a few weeks. Well, here we are. So I got to get the other 2 colors now before they raise their prices. So, yeah. So Malabringo's raising their prices on all their products the end of this month, or the beginning of next month. So, but yeah, yes, Miss Kimberly, I will make dishcloths and hot pads. And Miss Dana has lovely, thank you, Mary. Yeah. And they're doing online sales of, I know they do Malabringo. I know they do, of course, you're going to buy your Cascade from me. I know they've got, oh my gosh, I can't think of the name. Basically anything that can drop ship. Plus they've got some things in stock. But yeah, go to their website. They've got a few things. Oh, dang it. I just got a bunch of it in that mystery bag. I can't think of it. But anyway, yeah, check them out. Check out the stuff that they have.
Is it the Tangled Poets?
Yes, it was the stuff from Tangled Poets that I got a ton of in that. And it's beautiful, beautiful stuff, but I cannot think of the name of it. But they do have some of that on sale right now too, 20% off, I think. What they do have that I would not be able to get from Cascade, because they got like a truckload from Cascade, and it's the pinwheel. Anthem is anti-pilling. That is correct, Amy. Yeah.
And what's the pinwheel yarn? Is that like a variegated color?
And I think they only have one color. It's a pink and white mix.
Go get one.
I guess I could go get one. Hold on. Commercial break. Miss Cheryl will talk about her beautiful knit project.
I really don't have anything to say. Does anyone have any questions about it? Do you need any other information? Morocco. Right.
Here's your glasses.
I don't know, Mary. I don't know which one she was talking about.
Okay, so this is the pinwheel. It's the 200-gram ball, 100% acrylic, 440 yards, and they got all of it. Paradise Fibers has all there is. They bought everything so Cascade discontinued it and offered it.
Okay.
Yeah, and offered it to Paradise. Baracco, that's it. Thank you, Mary. So they have all that there is. And I think, don't hold me to this, I think they're selling it for $2 a skein because I bought a sweater quantity. Yes, Steve, it is pink. Actually, yeah, it's definitely pink. I was gonna say but it's sort of it's actually 36. It's not pink, it's 36. It's goes from a hot pink to a magenta to almost an orange. But it really works up beautiful. Yeah, dark pink. I've seen it worked up. I looked online because I'm like, what am I going to do with this? And I went online and I saw it worked up into a sweater because that's what I bought it for. I bought it to make the two brothers blankets. Yeah. Yes. It's regular $10 and it's on sale for $1.99. And that's what I paid for. I bought it at Christmas time when they first got it in. And I think I bought 6 of them and then I got 4 more. So I think I have 10 of these. And I bought it to make the hoodie, the two brothers blankets, the hoodie that she has. And she just reworked that pattern. So it's even easier now than it was before. And it was easy before. And I have seen this worked up into not exactly a hoodie, but almost like a pullover type thing like that. And it looks really, really nice. Now, feeling this feels like wool. If I had not read the label, I would have thought this was wool. It feels like, and it doesn't feel like your superwash merino. It feels like plain old everyday fisherman sweater wool. Yeah, I would not think so. If I'm wearing this, I'm probably going to have a t-shirt underneath of it. So if you're making up something like the hooded, hoodie type thing, where it's going to be something you're going to wear when it's really cold and you're throwing it on over a t-shirt, you're wearing this as a sweater, as a jacket, as an overshirt type thing. Now, that's just my guess from holding this yarn. Hun, feel that. Tell me what you think.
It's very soft.
Yeah, it's soft for sure, but I get the feel of, it's not, to me, it's not scarfable. But that's just my opinion. And that could be why it's on sale for $2.
And why it's discontinued.
Exactly. It's also made in China. And for some people, that's a thing.
That's the thing for me. I don't like yarns made in China.
So many times we've seen things that are made, and I have also noticed that with my Hirschners, worsted 8 stuff. I'll feel it and I'm like, whoa, this one's really different. And I'll look and it's made in China. This one's made in Turkey. This one's made in China. You can totally tell the difference.
Yes.
I've also heard people say that about the ice yarns. Now, I've never had an ice yarn in my, well, that's not true. I was going to say I'd never had it, but I did get some sample packs, but I've had people say it used to feel like this. Now it feels like this. Well, now it's made in China, and that's the difference.
From ice yarns.
Yep.
Wow, I thought ice yarns were all made in Turkey.
Nope. I'm hearing that
I know.
now.
We've got some yarns that were made in Turkey, some Australian yarns. I'm not sure if this one is. And, well, this one's now made in India. And India, for some, they must have different factories that make the yarn, because
Yes.
some of the factories, the yarn's gorgeous. I love Indian yarn, and others, it's like that yarn you were holding up. It's scratchy, it's thin, broken strands, all sorts of things.
Amy, it's not exactly, you know how some yarns, like the center will look totally different than the outside. It's not like that, but like this little bit is pinker and this little bit is oranger. And it's not like this is orange and this is pink. It's really subtle. And I think that's why when it's worked up, it just looks different. What I would recommend is go to, that could be. What I would recommend is go to like Ravelry and just, and that's what I did. I just looked this up on Ravelry and I'm like, show me some things made out of this. I'm like, oh, wow. It really looks nice when it's worked up. It really does. Almost looks like something that's marled. And I think with that mix, it gives you the marled look of something kind of like this. You get the hint of the color mixed in. But yeah.
That's interesting information you provided there, Steve, about the quality of the oils. Yeah. And Amy, that's exactly why I don't like Chinese yarn.
Yeah.
I saw someone do a yarn haul. Like, some people are quite favorable and they say that the yarns are quite good. But I've heard someone say they really smell and that they break very easily when they've ordered them from Temu. And Temu is a Chinese company.
Yeah. I've not ordered any yarn from Temu. I have ordered a lot of things from Temu, and some are good and some are not. But here's the reality. If you're ordering something from Amazon, it's coming from the same place that the stuff from Temu is coming from. Everything is coming from a distributor, and it's all getting sent out.
Yes.
So,
and is it AliExpress as well?
AliExpress, they're distributors. I mean, I have literally ordered the same thing from 3 different distributors. It's the exact same product. And I'm paying different prices sometimes because I need it today. If I can wait 2 weeks, I'll order it from this guy and pay less. If I need it today, I'm ordering it from Amazon and I'm paying more. That's the reality, and that's the difference. If I only want one, I order from this lady and I'm paying more, and I get it in a couple of, I get it next week. If I can, I don't like to buy 50 of anything, but if I get an order for 50 of something, then I'll order from the distributor and I'll pay way less. And it all comes from the same parent company that's selling 1,000 of them, and somebody's breaking it up into smaller packages. Everything is like that.
I think, Gwen, that it's a lot of places are like that. You can get some really good yarns that are usable, and you can get some that are, totally unusable, and you wouldn't even let your pets, play with.
Absolutely. I have bought, now I'll tell you one thing about this company, Cascade. The people that own it, it's a family company. It's a family-owned company. They're here in Washington State. And she literally goes to the factory where they're creating these things. And if she does, and that's probably why she discontinued this as well. If she does not like the conditions in the factory, if she does not like what's going on in the factory, she will not buy from them. She will go somewhere else and get her product. And that may well be why this isn't happening anymore. I don't know. I just know that I have contacted them in the past, and it's like, she's out on tours right now. She's traveling and they're doing tours. It's been a family-owned company for a long, long time. And I do know that when I've asked them about things, I've been told we're looking for a different provider. We're looking for a different supplier because we haven't been happy. And if if the quality changes after they've ordered something, they won't order from that supplier anymore.
Yes. My niece designs activewear, and she has her own range of activewear. And she went to China because that was the place. This is quite a few years ago, before COVID. And selected the materials that she wanted. They sat down and they did all of the pricing, all of the designs, patterns. And when she got her very first sample, it was totally different material.
Completely
It was cheap. It was
I've heard that so many times.
Yeah.
So many times, especially from small manufacturers. They go over there and they get that all set up, and then when their order comes in, it's not at all.
And she was just a startup, and she didn't want the quantities that you would have to go to one of the more reputable,
right, the big companies,
manufacturers in China, and so
I've heard that
she's put that
time
one
and
on
time
hold. Yes. But it happens in all countries. I mean, there's Indian cotton cloth used to be a really good thing, and Egyptian cotton, because the Egyptian cotton was long staple, so it was very like a long staple length. But now people will call it Egyptian cotton. Yeah, it's made and produced in Egypt, but it's just the short fiber stuff, so it's not soft. So it gives Egyptian cotton, the genuine long staple, a bad name as well. It sucks people in, getting the short staple on because it's cheaper and all of that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's a minefield everywhere, no matter what you're trying to buy online, especially.
Well, and milk cotton.
Yes.
My boss is like, "Oh, look at this milk cotton I found." I'm like, "That's not milk cotton. Trust me, at that price, it is not milk cotton." And even trying to find real milk cotton, it's almost impossible because people will call anything milk cotton.
Yes.
Is it a Giza versus Egyptian issue? Amy wants to know.
Kind of. It's if you take the cotton, so with the Egyptian cotton, it's the strain of cotton that they are known for their fabrics is a really long length. But then in Australia, we grow a lot of cotton too, and it's a shorter staple length, so it's very hard wearing, and it's a good cotton for things like bed sheets and that. But yes, that's it. They're growing a different variety, but because they grow it in Egypt, they call it Egyptian cotton. And yes.
Like champagne.
Yes, which you can't call champagne now unless you grow it in the Champagne region.
From Champagne.
Yes.
People don't realize that.
No.
So Amy says she's always equated Giza with Egyptian.
Oh, there's your
So
I haven't seen Nightbot drop that one before.
Nope. I think I just Bigfootyarns.com. It's almost live. It's pretty much ready to go. I've got to get it linked up with a bank account so that we can actually take your money. That's the last step. Everything else, I didn't want to get it live until we had stuff in there. But yeah, we've got the inventory is in there. So we're gonna have the yarn inventory in there. And then we're gonna have the earrings will be in there, stitch markers, plus the other stuff that she sells in the shop. It's not just yarn. It'll be I should say Bigfoot Yarns and More, but you don't want your name to be too long.
No.
So she's got like specialty items in there, candles and spa type things, and I can't even think. My poor little brain.
Decor type things.
Yeah, decor type things, home decor type stuff, and then the funny mugs. Of course I don't have mine here, but the ones that say cute. What was that one that says I like to party, and by party I mean crochet all night, stuff like that. So the cute little sayings and on the mugs and specialty. Oh, the bags, project bags. I've got a lady who's making those, and I still have to connect with the lady that does the specialty yarn bowls. I got her card, and I don't know what I do with it, but I know she'll be at the I've got another craft show in a couple of weeks, and I know she'll be at that craft show, so I'll be able to connect with her there, and all of that kind of fun stuff. So slowly but surely, all of that stuff will be added. So we have an Instagram page, and it's the same name, Bigfoot Yarns, and we have a Facebook page, Bigfoot Yarns. And as I get so you guys can go and I have somebody Monday night. I'm going to sit down with one of the college students, and she's going to teach me how to use the Instagram page. And I've got somebody else that's going to teach me how to use the Facebook page, because you know me. And
well, then you can teach me how to use Instagram, because I don't have Instagram either.
I'm like, okay, I guess I'll get this figured out. So right now I think there's one post on there, and it's probably like a picture, but and I think my IT lady put that short up on there. She's like, when you do these, you got to post them. Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to learn. And
post it on Instagram. Oh, okay. Because I thought you know how to post on YouTube. But
I do know how to post on YouTube. I don't know how to post on Instagram, or at least I don't know very well. So she's going to teach me these things. And then when I get something new, I can put that in there. Or when I get the new earrings, I can put them in there. When I get new stitch markers, I can put them up on there. And that's kind of my goal, so that you guys will see that stuff first. And I'll finally have a way to show those, because I've never had a way to show those things other than just in a live. Hey, look at the new earrings, while I'm sitting here making those things. And that's not really a very efficient way to do that.
No, and people can't sort of look in and have 3 or 4 of the pictures and say, which one do I want? Well, I want all 3 of them, but
Right.
Yes.
And this way, and I can separate them out into categories. These are animals. These are like crafts. These are like flowers or gardens, something like that. And that way we can separate those out. And then I can let people know, I've got it as an earring, but if you want it as a stitch marker, just tell me. And I can, if you want a lever back, or if you want a, what's that other kind called?
Lobster
clasp. Yeah. Because like I like the lobster clasp, but some people just love the lever back. But I can do it either way, whatever you want. And I can even change the pierced ones into non-pierced ones. And people are like, oh, it's easy peasy for me. So it's just a different connection. So and I love that's an option. People get the first time that I told somebody that, oh my gosh, she got so excited. And it was one of the little high school girls who was allergic, and she couldn't have, and it's like, all the girls have all these cute earrings, I can never wear them. And she ended up coming back and buying 3 different pairs of earrings. She was so excited, and I was thrilled. And then she went and told another one of her girlfriends. So it was really, really cool that I was able to do that. Oh, thank you so much, Mary. Oh, look, she put up the Facebook.
Instagram.
So in the next week or so, I will get those figured out, how to actually do that stuff. And so, so go in there and I don't know what you do, if you like, or if you subscribe, or if you follow, or if you're happy face, or I don't know. There's a way.
Yes.
You do something to them things, and then you see it. I don't know, but I'll be putting some discount codes up there for people. Special thanks for being my friend. Thanks for thank you guys for supporting me through the beginning of this. Just like you guys getting the deals on this yarn for doing the make along. There's going to be a prize for those of you, just a pop-up prize for those of you who are following us and doing this that other people aren't going to know about. Just those of you who are hanging out with us during this stuff. I'll find something fun.
Yes, yes.
And
I was actually going to talk to you about that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, guess who found some Sesame Street character yarn? That's going to be listed in there. And I've got about, I think I found maybe 10 or 12 of them maybe. So so that's the kind of stuff that is going to show up on there. Hey, I just found these guys. They're for sale. When they're gone, they're gone. That kind of stuff. And as I'm going through my stuff in there, I had no idea. I thought I had made them all into hats, and I know I used some for prizes, and I know I sold some. I gave some away at Christmas. I gave some to the homeless shelter. We've got a children's shelter down here. And I thought it was all gone, and I'm cleaning through stuff and I found a bag of them. So that kind of stuff that just pops up is going to show up in there for sale. So you just never know what's going to show up in this. So that's kind of thing that you're going to want to kind of look in there.
In the bargain section.
Yeah. Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah. Call it the surprise section.
The surprise section. Yeah. And, maybe that's the kind of thing I'll do a little short on. Hey, and I guess I can post, I guess they're called reels.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn. The same thing.
I'm going to learn on Monday, and that I'll be able to put a little, hey, I've got 10 of these. When they're gone, kind of thing. So
that's exciting. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. I'll be happy when I learn how to use it.
Yeah. I'll be happy when there's cheap postage to Australia.
Oh, I wish, man. I wish.
I think that's probably the only thing that's cheaper in Australia than the US is postage from Australia to the US is so much cheaper than the other way around.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, Miss Cheryl was going to make some samples for us in the store, and it was going to cost me like $100 to get the yarn down to her. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's going to work.
No.
I don't think that's going to work. Okay, you guys. So your homework this week is you're going to make the, what is this thing called? The broken
spirit.
Broken spirit. That's exactly right.
The diagonal broken rib
square, which you've already made, and yours looks nice. Mine will not.
You're on a roll.
Right. I'm on a roll. And then the following week, you're getting your yarn together, because the following week, May 5th, right?
Yes.
May 5th, which is Cinco de Mayo here. Do you guys pretend to celebrate Cinco de Mayo down there?
Yes.
Okay. So Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
You guys will all be hungover from partying on Saturday night for Cinco de Mayo. So Cinco de Mayo morn, Sunday morning.
It is morn. Oh my head.
Yeah. Cinco de Mayo morn. We will be starting the make along, our first official crochet/knit/crochet/knit make along of the shawl along.
The shawl along.
The shawl along. Crochet and or
cow.
Yep. And I'm going to put a different picture up. So Miss Cheryl's going to send me a nice picture of her beautiful white shawl.
Oh goodness. Okay.
And somehow, or maybe I'm going to send her a picture of my, because you can probably do a combo picture, and I don't know how to do that. One of us is going to create a pretty picture of both shawls, and that's going to be our new thumbnail.
Yeah. And is it going to be a separate live to the anthology? So it'll just be in.
So we'll just
like we have today,
just like today's was. We'll touch on this, and then we'll mostly talk about the shawl.
Excellent.
It may or may not be at a different time. Next week we'll still do 8 o'clock, and then we'll discuss changing it to a more appropriate time for Miss Cheryl, because it's 1 in the freaking morning for her.
It is. It's 2:30 at the moment in the morning.
Well, that's because we talk way too long.
Yes.
It's probably going to change to evening, so that it's not, because evening is evening for me, and morning a reasonable time in the morning for her.
Yes, usually mid-morning to.
Yeah.
I think when you were doing bingo at 7, it was like 10 o'clock in the morning for me.
Yeah. So I'm thinking early Sunday evening. Plus then the church people are done. And yeah.
Yeah. We can monitor the attendance as well, and the replays and stuff like that. I haven't said anything on my channel. I haven't done anything on my channel for a few weeks now. I think it was a herringbone tutorial, and that was it.
Yeah.
But
the crochet cast on, which I love. What kind of a cast on? Oh, well, because it's
a new one.
It's a new cast on. Oh, I'm so
3
excited.
stitches. You cast on. You start with 1 stitch, and then you make 3.
Even I can do that.
And then yes, it's really easy. Actually, Marina's way is easy, but I'm sometimes I'm fingers and thumbs. If I was to say hold the yarn, if I'm to hold the yarn like this, and then stick my hook or my needle in here and do things, it's like, but I hold this as well. It's all over the place. It's easy, but it's all over the place. But I found an easier way. I discovered.
Of course you
did. Got to make it easy. I don't like things hard.
You are the queen of, but I found an easier way.
But I found an easier way.
I love it. I love it. So next week, you're going to need what size needle?
It depends on your yarn.
Of course. Yes. If we're using a 3-weight.
If you're using a 3-weight, go for sorry, I talk in millimeters a lot. So a 3-weight, go for 4.5 millimeter.
Okay.
Which is a size 7 US. And also have a 3.5 millimeter, which is a size 4 US as well. If you're going with a worsted weight, use a 6 millimeter or size 10 US, and also have a 4 or a 4.5, something smaller, something a couple of sizes smaller as well. And yeah, we'll be good to go.
Okay. And 5 skeins of the 3-weight?
Of the 3-weight. I'm thinking yes. Oh, no, 5 skeins of the worsted weight.
Of the worsted.
Of the worsted, and I can't read it. My eyes are blurry. Probably 3 skeins of DK, 4 if you want it to be 32 inches.
Yeah. At least
if you want it longer.
Because I
will put up a post on my community tab.
I want mine big. Yes. I still haven't decided if I'm going with a 3-weight or with a 4-weight.
I'm actually really liking how the 3-weight, it's got a bit more drape than the 4-weight.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4-weight, this one too, you could sort of wear it as a scarf as well. It's thin enough that you could do that. Whereas this one is just like
it's just a
cuddly thick blanket, and it's huge, and there's no way that you'd be able to wrap it around.
Yeah.
You know how they wrap this way and this way.
Yeah.
And then I don't live in the snow. This one would be a bit thick. So this one you'd wear as a shawl. This one in the DK weight depending on how big you made it, you could use it as like one of those kerchief
Yes, I've seen
scarves
that.
as well. I think that would be nice, actually. So yeah, I'm really liking the DK weight as well, and the stitches are showing up just as well because of the needle sizes. I'm liking that.
Steve wants to know how many grams.
Grams. Oh, good. Thank you, Steve.
That's a true knitter. How many grams? How many grams?
I know. How many grams? So which weight are you looking for? So approximately 500 grams for the worsted weight.
500?
And 300 to 400 grams of a DK weight. I was saying earlier, I'm not sure if you were here, Steve, I was using the Tivoli, Hobie's Tivoli, which is now their Amigo, and it's a very thin DK weight, almost bordering on a 2. And I made half the length in with one skein of 150 gram skein. So yardage wise, let me see. I can't even read my own writing. With the DK weight, you'll probably need between just over 1,000 meters to have a finished length of 32 inches and almost 900 if you want the 27 inches. You're welcome, Steve. What sort of level knitter would you class yourself as, Steve? Like, because I only know you through this, and I don't know what your knitting skills are like. There should be something for as I was saying earlier, there should be something for everyone. The pattern hopefully goes up this week. Again, I'll put a notice on my, what do they call it, community tab when it's there in the Ravelry account. It's free. It's hunkin' long. Yeah.
Is he bringing his shoot? Is he tell him to bring his crochet because I need to see what hook he needs. But I may not be here because I've got my luncheon. My grandson wants me to teach him how to crochet.
Oh, lovely.
But don't forget, it's a long pattern, but there's a lot of white space in there, so there's room for lots of notes.
Yes. There are 7 different pattern sections, and they sort of start out easy and gradually get a little bit more intricate, and then the party stitch at the end where you can just chill out and relax and go, yep, but it's still pretty.
Pretty experienced.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then like that, you're a bit like me.
I was going to say that, but I wasn't 100% sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully there's something in the pattern that interests you, like keeps you interested in it. And with the pattern, with the written pattern, you'll probably find that there's lots that you can skim over because I've designed it for people at Robin's level and probably put more detail in there than I would for a pattern that I'd write for myself or for someone of your experience. Yeah, so just skim over things that you don't need. And if there's anything that you find in the pattern that I haven't explained well or you think is too confusing, please feel free to let me know. I welcome any feedback as long as it's done in a nice
positive
way.
Feedback.
Yeah,
not like the comment on my short.
Yeah. Yes.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, Steve, I know what I was going to say. I know that I have gotten patterns where I understand what they say, and it took them this long to say it. And I'm like, oh, do this. Well, I understand, do this. But I know that they explained it for somebody who didn't understand. And I appreciate that they are explaining it well for somebody who is at a different level than me, so that people can learn how to do things instead of assuming that everybody knows how to do things, because that's how people grow. And so I appreciate that in a pattern.
I was actually thinking of making a stripped down version as well, which I might do, if not right now, because my focus focus at the moment is for people like Robin, but anyone's welcome to do it. So yeah, at some point I might do a stripped down version for people who, you know, want to save paper and ink if they do print it out. I do most of mine from my tablet.
I was just going to say, I've seen people do that. That here's the short version, and then here's the long version, if this is what you want.
I have which one you need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you want to be as inclusive as possible. You don't want to alienate beginner knitters, and you don't want to alienate the more experienced knitters, but you don't want to frustrate anyone either.
Right.
Yeah, it's a very fine line. I don't know how designers do it. I don't know how they, you know, it's not churn out, but how they do so many. This one's doing my head in.
Well, and I think after a while you get into a rhythm, and probably they have almost like a boilerplate for this stitch and a boilerplate for this stitch and a boilerplate for this stitch. And so, you know, they know how they're going to write up certain things, and they have a style. You know, it's like I was saying, this dress that I'm working on, that I have no idea where it is. It should be, oh, here it is. So I started this dress for the baby, and this poor lady is, it was written in Swedish to start with, and bless her, she's converted this pattern to 4 or 5 different languages, and something got lost in the translation. And so here's this little, it's a pretty little dress, and you're working it sideways. So this is the strap of the dress. So we're working it like this, and it's going around, and it really is working out cute. And there was one part of it, and I'm like, I have no idea what she wants me to do. No idea whatsoever. And I finished a whole section yesterday, and as I was putting it away, it just clicked in my head what she wanted. It just clicked. And it wasn't while I was working on the pattern. It wasn't while I was crocheting. I was literally folding it. I was looking at it, you know, to make sure I hadn't made any mistakes. And I was just kind of looking at it, and I went, oh, that's what she means. And it made sense. It made sense. But it absolutely is not what the pattern says. So, you know, sometimes it's just the translation and the way things are worded and what we're used to seeing. And I had that happen with another pattern writer too. Several of us were doing a pattern. You know which pattern I'm talking about.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. Several of us were doing a pattern.
Yes.
We're just like, no, we're done.
And you know, to the writer, it made perfect sense.
Perfect sense.
What she was saying. And that's how I feel about mine. It makes perfect sense to me.
It's, and I think also, yes, Amy, you just got to not think about it.
Yes.
And I think sometimes if you have testers who are used to your way of pattern writing, that doesn't help either. Because if I had tested her pattern, I would have said, I don't know what you want me to do. I have no idea what this says.
Yes.
So I think you got to be careful with using the same pattern testers over and over.
Yes.
So
I've only tested one pattern for a fellow YouTuber. Never again. Never, ever again. They didn't want the feedback, really. They just wanted everyone to say it's fine because they wanted to upload it. And there were so many problems with pattern. Basically, if you haven't got the right number of stitches, just make it up. But it was
Oh.
a particular pattern, and you couldn't do it.
Mm.
Whereas there was a way to do it very simply so that it would work out.
Mm.
And she didn't want to hear any feedback. She said, "Oh, well, I might do that later, but I really just want to upload it now and get it out to everyone." I thought, that's me. That's
Mm.
me done for pattern testing for anyone. Yeah, you've got to be responsive.
I've done pattern testing for 2 people, and one of them was a highly professional. I mean, we had to take a test before we could apply to be. I mean, as in applying, it's like how will you determine how much yarn you use? I mean, I had to tell her what formula I would use so that she knew
Wow.
that I could tell, that I could figure out how many grams I had used, and go from yardage to grams, and that kind of thing. And it was like questions like that. And I had to send her samples of pictures of products so she could tell that I was going to be able to submit decent pictures. And I appreciated that, so that she knew that I was going to be a good pattern tester, not just say, "Oh yeah, this is wonderful." And it was just a hat. And she even gave us hints for how, and one of the stitches was a star stitch, and she even gave us hints for how to do the star stitch at the beginning of the row to make it work out even. It was really a good experience for me as a pattern tester, and as making this hat. It was really nice, and it's up on Ravelry, and so and then I've done another pattern. I've tested for another person who is a prolific pattern writer, and not as professional like that, but she did take my feedback. And when I told her, I would appreciate this information in a pattern, she took it to heart and has added that stuff to a pattern. So both of my experiences were good.
Yes. Oh, I detest charts, Steve. I really do. If I come across a chart, a pattern that I want to do, and it's just a chart, I'll write it out. Words mean more to me than working from a chart. I can read them, obviously, because I translate them, but to work row by row with symbols, no, not me. Which is really odd, because I love and taught algebra, which is not all, but symbols and numbers and all that sort of thing. And I've done calculus. I taught calculus at university, which is all weird symbols and they mean something to me. But symbols on a knitting chart or a crochet chart, no.
Do you mean like symbols, or do you mean like a Graphgan type chart?
Oh no! Oh, who? Steve? No, me is the symbols, like when they've got a curly circle for.
Okay, yeah. Because I like this kind of a chart. I like that.
That's okay.
But I want to learn the symbol.
Yeah, that's true.
Saying that. And the reason, just like this one yesterday, I think if I'd have seen the symbol on a chart, I would have known exactly what she wanted me to do. I don't think I would want to read an entire symbol chart, but sometimes if I can't tell what they want, if I could look at it, to me, that's a picture. And if I could look and see that, oh, that's what she wants. She wants me to do a double crochet right there. It's almost like, to me, that's a picture of the design. And many times I have looked at a chart and gone, oh, that's what she wants. But not I couldn't know the whole thing.
Yeah, I often find with knitting charts that they've got a key, and the key is more meaningful to me. Like a SSK, I understand those letters instantly, whereas the chart symbol for it doesn't really indicate what you need to do. You need to go back to the legend. I mean, I guess if you do it often enough, you get to know what the symbols are if people use standard ones, especially for cables. Cables look really messy to me on a chart. I go cross-eyed looking at the different ways and which way is it crossing? Is it crossing that way or that way? And that sort of thing. It confuses me. But if you said cable 4 forward, then I'd know what to do.
Well, and I guess it does depend on the chart and how complex it is. That makes perfect sense. That makes
one
perfect
blanket that I designed it was cables, and they all had different row repeats. So one complete one complete pattern repeat was 128 rows. Do you want me to chart that for you? No.
I'm not doing that.
And it would be even more confusing to say work row 5 from chart 3, work row 2, and this is all in the one row that you're knitting.
No.
So yeah, it's but we all have our own preferences, and yeah, someone can take written instructions and turn them into a chart that's meaningful for them.
Well, and I have done that too.
Yeah.
I've got that. Well, again, simple ones. I've got that silly, and it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous that I can't remember this, but I've got that silly, that silly cocoon sweater, and that one darn turning corner I cannot remember. And I finally, because I even wrote it out, what I'm supposed to do, and I can never, because I don't work on it often enough, and I can never remember what I'm supposed to do. And so finally, I drew the picture with the symbols, and I look at it, and I know exactly what to do. But it's simple. It's like doop, doop, doop. Oh, okay.
When I was trying to do this star stitch, which most pattern books will have for a rectangle, and so the stitch, when you're increasing stitches every row to get it right, you can't just have, say, a 4-row repeat. It turns into a 6-row repeat, or sometimes I'll turn into a 2-row repeat. And so I graphed it out, but I didn't put symbols in there. I put P2 tog for Purl 2 together. So I still, even when I was charting it, I was writing the symbol K, P, KU1, which meant something to me. And I could see that, I could visualize that from the letters. But had I put and I do have a knitting font to do the proper things, I wouldn't know. I'd look at it and I'd be going, what's that? What's that? What's that? It didn't make any sense. I haven't heard of that book, Steve. I love cables. Cables are my favorite. I'll see if I can find.
And of course, I'm terrified. I can't believe you didn't put cables in there.
I did.
Oh, you snuck cables in there?
This chain row here.
Yeah, those are cables.
Cable.
Oh, you just didn't say the word. You didn't, because you didn't want to scare me off.
It's a very basic cable. It's probably the easiest cable you will do, and that's why I put it in there. It's just a twisted stitch, one stitch twisted over the other, and you have to drop it off the needle like you put it. But because the stitch is already worked, you can elongate it, and it'll be this huge loop. There's no way it's coming out if you want it to be. You can
see what she's doing to me, Steve. You see what she's doing to me.
I hunted for easy.
I know
stitches.
I know.
And
have you seen my blog? Have you seen these things
together? You can do a star stitch because it's just purl 3 together.
Okay. All right.
You'll be fine. I don't know, Steve, if you've seen any of my 2 blankets that I've made with cables or the that I made. I'll see if I can. Okay, so that is one of my designs for a hat, and I made a blanket.
Okay, I'm going to make you big. Yeah, this is what she does for funsies when she gets bored.
So that's my design there. And so I did a blanket. I sent a blanket. Or I made a blanket out of that, and I wanted a hat as well that used some of the patterns. So the blanket's in worsted weight, that's in fingering weight. And I don't think I have my niece's blanket that I made for her wedding. So turn. Okay, so that's the design as well.
Oh my Lord.
So yeah, it's a bit wonky, but it wasn't blocked at that stage. So yeah, I love doing cables. That's my thing, is cables. So I'll check that book out. That was Contrast.
Oh, I lost my
I have
clip.
to go up there. Ah, okay. Ruth loves to knit. Okay.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. I'm going to have to go check her out.
The contrast books. I'm glad I thought to bring a paper and pattern.
Right, Amy? This is how you get sucked in, Amy, with beautiful things like that.
Contrast cables.
And it's like, but however, I know my limitations, and I know that it would take me 2 lifetimes to be able to do something like that. So.
And that's why you're doing my shawl, Robin.
That's right. And
to show you that you can.
I found a shawl the other day that I want to make. I found 2 shawls that I want to make that are knit, and I've saved them in my list. And they're from, what's her name? The lady who did the Muscle Burl hat. Oh, I can't believe you don't know that. Everybody in the world has made that hat. It's so simple.
I don't make hats. That
well,
was
you would be bored to tears because it's like 3 feet of stockingette.
I actually like stockingette. I like doing so. That's the stitch that I go to when I want the yarn to shine. So if it's a variegated yarn or something like that, stockinette stitch is wonderful.
Yes.
And it's so easy. It's just mindless, knit this
and that's
row,
what's
purl that
the
row.
cool thing about this hat. Let me see if I can find it. MUSSLEB. Shoot, that's the only bad thing is you've got to spell things right in Ravelry. It won't do a search. Yes, here comes the rabbit hole, Steve.
I told Robin a couple of lives ago that her crocheting license would be revoked if she did any more knitting projects. It's all knit. I think that's why she went for crochet.
That's why I had to start this baby dress.
And design your shawl as a crochet piece.
Yeah, that's my what do they call that? My thing to the gods.
Yes.
The crochet gods. My offering to the crochet gods.
Offering, yes.
Yes. Dang it. How do you spell that? Maybe I'll just search hat. Because I don't.
Yeah, because hat will, narrow it down a lot.
In my list, it might.
It spells it for you if you speak in.
No, it doesn't. It won't in here. Where is my...
So, Steve, what do you like to knit? Do you have a special style? Do you like brioche? I'm not a huge fan of brioche, but I do it sometimes. Cables, lace, mixture of everything. I think I'm cables first, and then blocky lace next. I used to do lace when I was younger, and my fingers were nice. Lots of baby shawls and shawlettes and gorgeous stuff like that. But I don't have many knitters in my life now, except the ones on YouTube. No crocheters really either. Whereas I used to have my mom and my grandma. They taught me most of what they do. Oh, I hate socks with a passion. Oh my gosh, yes. I'm with you there. If I need a pair of socks, I just duck down to the nearest supermarket. Actually, being in Australia, I don't wear socks very often at all. I think I have 3 pairs of socks that I've had for years and years and years, because I just barefoot most of the time unless I'm going out, and then it's sandals, no socks, unless you're a male Australian in their 80s going to the beach. Then you wear socks, long socks, sandals, and shorts, just in case you ever come to Australia. You'll fit right in.
Okay. So the designer is, her name is, oh, I'm not going to be able to say this. Yosolda. Good Lord. Ysolda.
Oh, no, that sounds familiar.
And she's from Iceland or something like that. But her very famous hat, I mean, she's got a lot of things. So where's her hat? Where's the hat? Where is the hat? Oh, she's got a lot of things. I wish I could search under a designer by a project. Oh my gosh, but it's called the Musselburgh hat. Musselburgh, I guess is the proper way to say it. Is nobody in here heard of that? Steve, you must have heard about it.
Oh, I see. Musselburgh.
But it's not pronounced bird, it's bra, Musselburgh.
Okay.
I heard it corrected one time, but I guess like tens of thousands of people have made this. But the thing that's cool about it,
cap, is it?
but look at the top, look at the crown. The crown is different. And the thing about it is you don't have to do gauge. Why can I not find this silly hat?
I found it. I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And you don't have to use gauge, and you can use any kind of yarn, and the way you fold it, you can make it look different ways to do. Steve, you've made it? Of course. Did you enjoy making it?
Steve? What did you think of it?
Because it's on my list, but I have a feeling it's going to take a really long time.
Again, I don't wear hats, so I tend to be excuse me. If I don't wear it, or the people around me don't wear it, I don't make it. Although I do make a lot of hats on my little knitting machine, just churn them out to donate, and also make blankets, hand knit blankets to donate as well for homeless shelters and things like that. But wearables, I tend not to make wearables, although I am making a top at the moment. I just like blankets for some reason.
Well, the cool thing about this, what's supposed to be cool about this? She's got 226 designs. No wonder I can't find anything. You can make it out of leftovers. You can make it out of different weights. You can make it out of, turn it one way and it looks like one hat. Turn it the other way, it looks like a different hat. When I first saw it, I'm like, this looks like something, a tube hat that I made on my knitting machine. What's so special about this?
Yes, yeah.
And then, but everybody just raves about this hat. And I'm like, I
sometimes wonder about when people rave about things like getting onto the bandwagon of something, and then I look at it and I think, why? Like there's nothing extra special, not saying anything about her hat, but just in general, everyone's making hexie cardigans.
Yes.
Why? I guess that's what fads are, as in, we used to wear flared pants in the 70s.
Oh, and they're back.
They're back. Everything old is new again. And I'm sure our parents and grandparents are thinking, like, what's the attraction with these flared pants? Yeah. And
Yeah.
I tend not to follow fads.
There's in the project list, there's over 23,000 people have made it in the project list. And you know that, and then it doesn't account for the people who haven't listed it. Of course, it's in my library. I've bought the pattern. So she's got my $5.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, $5. It's $12 Australian.
I had a coupon.
Oh, okay.
I'm not buying it. Because I looked at it and I'm like, I am not buying that thing. And then a lot of people struggled with the starting of it. Well, I found somebody who showed us how to do it with a crochet hook.
Yes, yeah.
So then
And
that's when I finally broke down and bought it.
Yeah, I wonder how many knitters who predominantly knit but do know how to do some things with a crochet hook, because it's really handy with knitting, like for picking up stitches, and you know, starting off things, to cast on, cast off. Yeah.
Okay, so
Whereas
let
really
me show you.
crocheters don't need to know anything about knitting needles and anything like that. So
Let me show you
yeah,
the
I'm
two
curious.
of her. Oh, and I'm sure it's totally simple. Totally simple. All of this so I could get to the shawl. Look at that.
Can you make yourself big, Robin, so that we can
sure.
see it a bit closer? Oh, that's pretty.
And I think they're just yarn overs now and again.
Oh, yeah,
so
they will be.
that
Yes.
little hole.
Sorry, I just had a vision of a nice stockinette stitch shawl sitting there with all these moss cutting the holes in at the right places.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right?
the yarn overs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. Here's a better.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that's all. I mean, I know that's all. I know that's all it is, because I think I actually there. Look at this. That's all it is every now and again you throw in a yarn over. So I probably shouldn't buy that pattern. Just
You can make that pattern up yourself, Robin. Come on.
kind of what I'm thinking.
I feel the need for a yarn over in here. Yep,
Yeah.
that's what you'll do.
Pretty sure. And then this one, I know you're going to tell me the same thing. Oh, I don't know why. Every now and again, I'm starting to. Come on, go big, go big, go big. This one is a little. When you see it open, there's a little bit more style than just every now and then there's a different row. It's kind of the center sort of has a different doohickey. Yeah, I know. Come on, show me the top so that I can show them there's actually something to this. It's not just some moth holes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know. It's cause I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, here. Now you can tell. At the top, you can tell it's a little different. This is a different shawl.
She had a moth in a row there. They were all in a row.
Yeah, this time the moth holes are all in a row. All right. Well, I have to. Her other ones are really intricate. You know, I can't look at those.
So just once I start laughing, sometimes it just plays a loop in my head, and I just can't stop.
You guys are so mean to me.
Oh dear.
One of these, I was looking at the pretty ones. I cannot do those. I have to look at the ones that are just moth holes. Yeah, I'm sure that's what it actually, Steve, that I was afraid of that even.
Yeah.
Even I thought I might get tired of this one.
It's a fine line sometimes between boring and
yeah. But yeah, I was trying to find, because there was a coupon. I was trying to find something that I thought might be simple enough for me to make.
Yeah.
I'll just stick with Cheryl showing me. I know, Amy. They only pick on me because they love me.
Like with stockinette stitch, I do that for jumpers, and then do, say, either a Fair Isle or a cable yoke. And stockinette stitch I like because it's so mindless that you can do it while you're doing anything else. Like I could do that while I was talking to you, but something like that pattern, which is kind of boring. Oh, sick of me already? Oh, there we go. But something like that where it's kind of boring, but every now and then there's a little, blip. You have to pay attention because you need to know when those little, something different is happening.
And I couldn't imagine with the moth hole one actually counting the stitches to get to where the moth hole is.
No, exactly. It might be just a free-for-all pattern, like, as you feel it. When you feel like it needs a hole, just do a yarn over, knit two together, whatever. Yeah.
And I would definitely call that the moth hole shawl.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's got a lovely name like raindrops or snowfall.
Oh dear.
But the muscle burl hat, a billion teen people have made it, and I have seen it with where they do a section in the middle with stripes. So however you turn it, it's got different. And some people make it not as long, so they don't do the turn up on it. And I'm drawn to it, like you said, because it would be just mindless. Just go while you're in the car, and you don't have to count, and you just measure it for a certain length, and you do your decreases. And so the only part you really have to pay attention is at that crown. But I bet you that's a super warm hat, right, Steve? So, but if you got a guy that you want to knit a nice hat for that doesn't like anything foo-foo, I can see that being or school colors. I totally see that in a school color hat type thing. Do two. If you've got a lot of fingering weight yarn, that'd be a great way to use up a couple skeins of fingering weight yarn.
Yeah, I think with hats and socks, I see them as cheap enough to buy for how often I would wear it.
Yeah. Well, see, but where we are, hats are a big thing all the time.
No.
All the time. And I do want to do the socks. I definitely have the bug to do the socks. I still have, I have one sock done for him, and I have to tear the second one off because I twisted my stitch. And so I have to tear it off, and a lightweight. Yeah. A lot of people do them in the fingering weight sock yarn for those hats. A lot of them. Maybe a 2-weight. Once in a blue moon, I see it done in a 3, but not very often. Not very often. And a lot of people use their leftover after they do a sock. They'll throw it on to that, finish it up. So.
See, during the day here in winter, I would very rarely wear a cardigan or a jumper. Very rarely.
Really?
Or at nighttime. And like this is 3/4 length sleeve. That's enough for me to go out in winter with jeans on, or something like that. No shirt. Well, yeah, I did. Sorry, I didn't. No scarf, no hat, or anything like that. I would melt. I would literally melt. Look, there's Auntie Cheryl. See that puddle there? Auntie Cheryl came to visit. Yes.
We'll get.
So no, I don't.
We had 13 below zero this winter. So for about a week.
Wow. I mean, no. I've never seen snow in real life. I think I romanticized it more in my head than what it probably really is when you live with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had snow 2 weeks ago. We still had snow coming down. Not much. It didn't stick, but we still had snow 2 weeks ago. And I will be wearing, I never don't have a sweater with me. I mean, this, I've got a long sleeve t-shirt and a sweater, and I'm cold right now. I wish I had one of my I wish I had one of my blankies. Where did my shawl go? Did I put it away? Nope, it's right here. It's going across my. Hi, Pinky. I was just telling everybody how pretty your triangle square turned out. And I was very happy that yours ended up white. Hello, Miss Linda. Because of
Hey, Jean, Pinky Jean.
because the
And
white
Linda, yay.
really good with that square. Now, Miss Pinky lives in Texas, which is at the far end of the United States. And she's like you. They will get a cold snap, but it's still not. It's probably very similar to your temperatures. If they get snow, it's very, very rare. A couple of years ago, Pinky, were you in Texas when they had that snow a couple of years ago? That cold, that horrible cold. I happened to be down there during that week, and it was 6 below, and we had snow. We had like 4 inches of snow. It was awful for the people down because they don't know how to deal with snow and everything.
No.
You were there, yeah. I happened to be down there during that time, and it was bad. It was bad. We were lucky. I was at my daughter's house, and their pipes did not freeze, but a lot. And people with swimming pools, they don't winterize because they don't get that kind of weather. And sprinkler systems froze, and swimming pools froze, and people's houses, their second floor bathrooms would freeze, and then just their things collapsed. It was awful. It was awful. But because our family is used to being in the north, they knew what to do. They knew how to deal with that kind of stuff. And so we were very lucky that we had some portable some little portable heaters, and so we knew how to keep the pipes from freezing and that kind of stuff. But yeah, and they blow out their sprinkler system every year because we're used to doing that. That's what we do in the north. You blow out your sprinkler system and you turn off your water. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Pinky knows how to deal with it because she lived in North Dakota. Yeah. If you're not used to it, and they don't know how to drive that kind of weather.
No.
Because and not only don't know how to drive in it, the roads aren't prepared for it. So I always joke with her, they get one snowflake and the whole city shuts down. Yeah. But Miss Pinky, she picked out her yarn for hers, and it is beautiful. I will mail that out tomorrow morning. It's gorgeous.
It's not doing the knit one, Pinky.
Oh, Miss
Can I
Pinky.
entice you?
She's got a challenge for you, Pinky.
There we go.
Look at that. Look at that. Miss Pinky's quite the knitter.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have this done in about a week. You can do both, no problem.
We would have a competition, but I know that Robin would win, so we don't have a competition. As in who's going to do what. I think you'll have more people.
It's going to take me a year to complete that. Linda's doing both.
Yeah.
Linda has her done already.
Linda, that's my I've started doing it in DK as well. This is the hobby yarn. I really like it. It's got a little bit more drape than the worsted weight, and I like the color too. I didn't think I would. I thought I was using scrap yarn just to check out the pattern, and the more I got into it, the more I liked the color. Yeah.
So next week I'm going to tell you guys how to do this. I will have a pattern. You will not need it. I'm going to give you guys the instructions next week. I will have it written up in the description.
Yeah. It's short enough to go in the description.
That simple, you guys. It is that simple. I'll have it written up in the description. I'll have it written up in the. Can you print off stuff? Can you print off stuff?
Oh, wow, Mary. Can you print off stuff from the description? You can copy and paste, or you can do a screenshot.
Yeah, that's all you'll need is a screenshot. I'll also have it written up. I'll probably have it written up in the I'll figure it out.
Community tab. You could put it in a post there.
I can put it in a post in the community tab. That's what I will do. I will put it in a post in the community tab because it's literally going to be a few lines. It's that simple. It is that simple. And then she's going to have a link to hers. Thank you. That's what I'll do, Mary. And she's going to have Cheryl will have a link to hers in her Ravelry page. And like she said, it'll be several rows. It'll be several pages. Don't let that scare you. There's a lot of white space on each page so that you've got lots of room for notes. Because if you're like me and you need to. So next week, we will be casting on with Miss Cheryl because she's going to show us a nifty, new, easy way to do the, what's it called? The tab thingy?
It's not a tab thing. It's just a, I don't know what it's called. Alternative tab, I guess. That's what Marina calls it.
Tab. Alternative tab. Because what's the regular thing called?
The garter tab.
The garter tab. She doesn't like it, of course. So she found an easier, prettier, less chunky way to do it.
That's instead of the garter tab. That's the start.
Look at that. Look at that. Smooth, easy. Can't even see it.
No, it's nice.
So make sure you tune in next week. We're going to cast on together, and she's going to teach us how to do this alternative to the garter tab.
Yes, and I will have a video as well that will drop after we do the live. I'll put it in, I think. I was going to try and get them up next week, but I think I'll wait till Sunday and then drop them. So I'll have to make them this week. It's going to be a busy week.
Yeah. And then and I will also be doing a little sample size one so you guys can see what I'm doing as well, because it's going to be really hard to do 2 rows of double crochet, because that's how we start. We're going to start with 2 rows of double crochet. That's the secret. 2 rows of double crochet to start. And I will get, apparently I need to type it up. I've got it written up. I really do. I know you don't believe me, but there it is. It's written up.
I have a copy as well.
It really is written up.
Would you like me to put it in a PDF on my Ravelry page for you, Rob?
Yeah, because I don't know how to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't either, but I'll figure it out. I mean, I've set up the Me, You, and Yarn Ravelry account. There's nothing there.
Okay, so they'll both be there. There you go. Both of them will be there. And
send me a copy again of your pattern, because you may have changed.
And I'll make sure that there's no changes.
Yep.
And I don't think I have any changes. And then the only thing that is not in the pattern is you figure, because I did this 6 feet long and I didn't give you the starting count because you can make it as big as you want. I will tell you what the Ravelry is. What is the link for your Ravelry page?
Oh, I don't know.
I guess I'll have to figure that out.
It's Me, You, and Yarn at Ravelry. I think I've got dots in between.
We'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out. I'll put it on my community tab and Robin's community tab. I think most people know Robin better than me.
And when this airs, after this airs, then we can put up comments. We'll put the link to her Ravelry page there as well. Yeah. So in the instructions, it will not tell you how many to cast on. Because you can make this as big as you want, but I will tell you how many I cast on to make it 6 feet wide, because it's a multiple. It's a multiple of 4 plus 1 plus 2.
Yeah.
Plus 2 if you do, if you're doing a chain.
Yes.
If you're doing a foundation, you don't do the plus 2. Then it's just 4 plus 1. Most people do. I did a foundation with this one. I will never do that again. It took me hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to make that foundation. Would have been way faster to just do the chain. So so the multiple is 4 plus 1. So, but I'll tell you how many I cast on to do 6 feet. Oh, well, there you go. Cheryl's done it.
That'll be it. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. We love our Mary.
Thank you.
So there it
I
is.
set it up and then I had nothing to put on it, and that was like a week and a half ago. I haven't even been there.
So both
I tried to
patterns
set up-
are going to be on Cheryl's page right there. Ta-da-da.
I might have to save that link myself.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we will put that in the, I wonder if I can save that. I wonder if I can copy and save that. We will put that in the
community tabs.
Yeah, but there's a way. Oh, add to friends. I just added you to my friends in Ravelry.
Oh, okay. Finally.
Finally, right? Finally. We'll figure out how to put that in because it wouldn't let me copy it just now. We'll figure out how to add that to the community page. Mary, can you also put that in the RWR links in Messenger? Are you able to do that? Because you're so good at that.
And Mary, while you're at it, can you set up an Instagram account for me?
Yeah, and
yeah.
Would you be a social media manager, Mary?
I tried to set up a you and Jan Instagram account, and I did it, and I had my password, and it said, I went through all their rigmarole. It said, something has gone wrong on our end. Try again later. So I've already written down everything. I think, can I use the same password as I did before? Or were they going to say, nope, that's already in use, and this account's already in use? I'm scared to go back. And this is coming from someone who worked in the computer industry back in the 80s. It's
yes,
changed.
please, Mary.
It's changed. Yeah, so okay.
Okay.
I'm rambling now because my eyeballs are scraping the ground.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. We're definitely going to change the time on these because, like I said, we can't ask Cheryl to do this at 1 a.m. and do tutorials for us. So we will figure an evening time that works. And
I'm happy for it to say this time if you want. I was going to do video tutorials and drop them on my channel, and then in these lives, if anyone wanted any extra help, then we could do that here rather than doing the whole tutorial, because some of them are going to be longer than others.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we'll find an evening time that's appropriate. It's not okay to ask you to do this at 1 a.m.
No.
So be expecting to have this moved to Sunday evening. And I think that'll help with, because so many people go to church on Sunday morning and pick this up later on anyway. Okay, so we're going to call it. And I have a thing. I get to go to a birthday brunch. Yay. So I'm super excited. We'll see all you guys next week. Bring your crochet hooks, bring your knitting needles, bring your yarn, and be ready to start playing. And the patterns will be ready for you. Although, like I said, you will not need a pattern for this. You can certainly just have a notebook and jot down a few notes. And that's all you're going to need for this. And we'll see you guys later. And I'll have my yarn picked up again. I'm really, really thinking that I want to use a nice merino, a superwash merino, because I have a feeling it's going to take me a really long time, and I want to use a nice yarn, a really nice yarn.
What I'm going to recommend people do is have some scrap yarn at the side if you're not a confident knitter, and just practice the stitches before you actually do it with your good material or good on your proper shawl. And just cast on 15 stitches and practice it
Play with them
until
a
you
little.
work out any kinks with it,
Mhm.
any problems with it, just so that you're not working. Because when you get further up, you're going to have 200-300 stitches. You don't want to be learning something new on 200 or 300 stitches.
That's true.
Let's face it, you're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
And you're going to get frustrated. You're going to frog the whole thing. But if you can do it on a small sample.
Almost like a swatch.
Yeah, like a swatch. Like Anya did with the Lizzie blanket, where she had the little side one that you practiced on before you got to the main blanket.
Yeah.
So I would encourage people. What weight yarn are you planning on using, Linda? If it's worsted weight, I used a 6mm needle, which is a size 10 US, and also a 4mm, which is a 6 US. So you will need, if you have them, 2 different sizes would be good. I will show you how to use it just using just using the larger needle. It's not as nice, but it works and it saves you buying extra. So that's a size 10 and a size 6 US, large circular needles, 48-inch, shorter as well. And if you're doing it in a DK, it's a size 7 US and size 4 US knitting needles. I think that was it.
She's going to do a worsted.
Worsted? Yeah, so size 10 and a size 6, which is a 6mm and a 4mm.
10 and 6 and 48-inch table, and then a smaller one to start with until the thing grows a bit.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Perfect. I got to dig out my cable. It's buried.
The worsted weight one, I used 5 skeins, just under 5 skeins of the NACO, and so that would be, I'll just do a quick measurement. I can't believe I didn't do that one. 117. So it'd be about 860 yards. 860 meters, which would be 900 yards.
So I always buy an extra skein when I'm doing something like that. You know, everybody does things different.
And 940 yards.
You just had a handful of yarn left over, right?
Yeah, it was 20 grams. 20 yards.
Yeah, she had and don't you, that was including your bind off?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, she literally had 20 yards left over. So I'm definitely going to get an extra.
Yeah. I'm wondering actually if it, if you can get a smaller skein of the worsted, so not 100 grams. I'm just wondering if I will increase this little guard a bit before binding off, because it's still, the honeycomb stitch still makes it want to curl a little bit. But I think a couple of extra rows of garter stitch would stop that.
Yeah, that would smooth that out. That's not a bad idea.
Which would mean you'd probably need more than the 20 yards. But again, it depends on your tension as well.
Mm-hmm. And I'm still a tight knitter. It's getting better.
Okay.
Getting better.
So if you're doing it, you might find that you want to go up a needle size, even though I say in the pattern, don't go up too high. But if you're a tight knitter, you might need to go up a little bit higher. Yeah.
Okay.
But the first part is just stocking stitch, so you'll get to see if the needle size is right, because if it's tight on the stocking stitch, it'll be tight for other stitches as well.
Okay. And if I find, just in general, because I am a tight knitter. Hello, Erica.
Hi, Erica.
We're talking about, so our
yes, Mary.
Our make along begins next week. We're each doing a shawl that we designed, my very first design, This is a crochet. Mine is a crochet rectangle. Hers is a knit triangle.
Yes. Yep.
So beautiful. We're very excited. And so we're just talking about mine takes 4 skeins DK if you want DK. And I used the Anthem DK that we sell right there, Anthem DK. And she used the NACO.
I used it only because I had it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had it and I used it. Any DK that's got roughly the same specs for the I was going to say hook size for the needle size.
Yeah. We're excited. This is called Bachelor Button. I was going to do purple until I saw this, and then I fell in love with this. In fact, the purple that I was going to use is the purple that whoops, knocked my stuff over. Good Lord. Miss Pinky Jean chose for hers. So I can attest to how beautiful it is, because that was what I was going to use. So she picked a really pretty purple and a forest green. So it's going to be gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Can't wait to see how that looks worked up. So yeah. So get your knit needles ready to go. Get your crochet hooks. And again, I used the was it the eye hook? You think it's 5.5. I used a 5.5 and it really worked. It really worked up nicely. Very excited. Very excited. And so we're going to cast on next week, and we're going to do our chain next week, and
see how it goes.
See how it goes. See how it grows.
You work at your own pace. There's no set thing, no set number of rows to do.
There's no pattern to buy. We'll be releasing the pattern on Cheryl's Ravelry page, which is just a little bit up. Mary, can you drop her pattern again? Her link again? But
and Erica, it's
not simple. It's not on there yet. We're gonna be posting the pattern on there. It is so simple that if you just want to pop in, we're going to tell you how to do it, and you can just jot it down. Just jot it down.
The knit one will be a bit longer
still. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, no buying. There is no buying of pattern.
No buying for the knit one either.
I would be embarrassed to sell this pattern. It's too simple. Super easy. Super easy. But yeah. Yep. And
I'm excited and scared at the same time.
Huh?
I said I'm excited and scared at the same time.
Exactly. Both. Yeah, we're both excited and scared at the same time. The website for the store will be live in a few days as soon as we get the links to the financial stuff figured out. So it is www.bigfootyarns.com. You can't go to it yet, but if you think about that, and also Bigfoot Yarns on Instagram and on Facebook. And I think there's actually something on there already. I don't know. And so go check that stuff out. I would love to get some activity over there. That's where you're going to start seeing things as soon as I figure out how to use them. I've got somebody teaching me how to use it in the next couple of days. Oh, look, Nightbot. Just put that. That's funny. Good timing, Nightbot. Good job, Nightbot.
It might have heard the Bigfoot yarns, and that might prompt it to
maybe. I don't know. Who knows with Nightbot? So that's it. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Next Sunday morning. Are you okay with that, Cheryl? And then we'll figure out a time for the evenings after that. There will be a different. Thank you, Mary. There will be a different thumbnail. Cheryl and I are going to figure out a picture of both of the two shawls, and we'll get a pretty thumbnail for that up. So it'll be a picture of this blue shawl and the pretty white shawl, and we'll get that up. And thanks so much, Mary. But yeah, I would really appreciate if you guys would I don't know what you do. If you like, or if you subscribe, or if you heart, or whatever it is you do on Facebook and Instagram to participate. If you guys would do that, it would really mean a lot. So we can get some traction going. And that's where you'll get the new information about stuff. And apparently I'll be posting things once I learn. Oh, thank you. And as soon as I learn how to like, I'll do it too. Okay. So you like on Facebook and you follow on Instagram, right, Mary? I promise the young kids at the college are going to teach me how to do that. I have an appointment set for one of them to teach me how to do that stuff. That's what happens when you get old. All this stuff passes you by.
Yeah, it just changes so quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When you sent me the link to your short, and I said I can't access it because Messenger wants to update, and it updated, and now it's got all this AI stuff, AI help, AI this, and it's like, no thanks, I don't want any of that.
Well, I was trying to do a search for something the other day, and it was AI. I'm like, no, I just want to look for something in my stuff, and I couldn't do it without the AI option being up there.
Yeah,
I don't want AI in everything. Yeah. And so finally I just typed in the stuff I knew I wanted, and it found it, but I thought it was taking me somewhere else, and I didn't like that. So
just Instagram. Okay. I just saw the Instagram link there, and that's long. I'm never going to write that all down. Okay, copy that. Good. Okay.
Is it there?
My goodness. I think this is probably almost a marathon session.
Yeah. So, okie dokie, guys. I got to get ready for my thing. And the grandson's coming over, and I got to see what size crochet hook he needs, because there's a pretty good chance I have it. Although I had to go buy this thing, because you saw me searching high and low for this 3.75 ugly Clover soft touch, and I did not have it. It's probably in a project bag somewhere. Not this one, not this size. And so when I switched it out for that baby dress I'm working on, when I switched it out for the hook I was using, it just made all the difference in the world. I did about 10 rows in the time it would have took me to do 3 with that other hook. Just made all the difference. I cannot believe how much I like these ugly things. That darn Dana. And it just kills me for me to tell her she's right. It kills me every time I have to tell her she was right. But I bought one of these when I was working on her flower garden, and I didn't have the size. And it's this same hook. So I'll bet you it's in with my flower garden. That's where it is, because this was the size. And I did not have a single hook in this size. And I ordered them from Amazon, and I ordered this one just to shut her up so I could tell her I did not like it. So I ordered this one, and I ordered a Prim, which I know I like because they're really big and long. And I ordered a different brand. And this one got here first. The Prim took almost a week, and the other brand never did get here.
Oh, okay.
And I love this thing. And from then on, these are the ones. This one in my furls. But I couldn't find a furls in this size the other day when I was searching high and low. But I needed, and this is the other reason I like it, but I needed this pointy head. I needed that pointy head. So I ordered this online at Joann's, and so I could pick it up, because I do have a Joann's by me, and it's the only fabric store by me, the only yarn store. And for once they had it in stock. They never have something I need in stock. So they had it in stock, and I ordered online and pick it up, and you get 20% off when you do that.
Oh, wow. That's good.
And I still paid way too. It was $7 for this thing, and it was worth it. Oh, so but now that I think about it, I'm sure it's in with my fruit garden, but that's okay. It's okay, because
never hurts to have a spare.
No, as much as I use those darn things. But I searched this place high and low, but I forgot. See, that's going to be a problem with having stuff out in the motorhome at 10 o'clock at night. I'm not going to want to go out there and dig around for something.
Especially when it's winter.
Mm-hmm. Or pouring down rain or.
Yes.
Yeah.
But,
anywho, we will see you guys next week. I cannot wait to start this. I got to pick out my yarn. I still got to pick out my yarn for that shawl. Now I'm thinking maybe the Pacific.
Ah, that's good, Erica.
Oh yeah, I get a teacher's discount because of working at the college. I get a teacher's discount. I get that same 10% discount. So it's nice.
On top of any other offers that they have?
It depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll stack, sometimes it won't. Just depends. Kind of depends on who's working too.
Yeah.
It's great. And Michael's will give you the old lady discount, but the other stores don't.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Not many people give you the old ladies discount here.
Not the fabric stores.
No. Even the grocery stores, the one I go to does, but the other one that we prefer to go to doesn't. And
yeah,
people say, but it's only like a couple of bucks. And I think, well, a couple of bucks a week. If someone said to you, here's $100, would you say it's only $100? $2 a week, $100 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's conservative.
Right. And some of the stores here, it's like the first Wednesday of the month or something like that. Well, I'm not going to remember that. I just won't. But
and then you're fighting all the other old biddies there with their trolleys.
The fast food places, usually it's you get a free small drink. Well, I'm all about that. Yeah, I'll take a free. Sure. Or a lot of times it's a free coffee. I'm not doing the free coffee.
No,
yeah.
No.
Well, if it's the computer that won't let it stack. If you've already got this discount, it won't let you stack that discount. So it just depends. It depends on which, if I'm using this coupon, it won't let me stack the coupon. If it's on sale, it'll let me stack it. But if I'm already using a coupon, it won't let me stack another coupon. But by gosh, I'm trying.
Yeah. One of the ones I get emails for in Australia is $20 off your next purchase of over $100 or more on any full priced item. Like, no, that's not how it works. I'm not buying anything.
Everything is on
$100.
You walk in the store and everything is on sale. Yeah. And then boy, they got me on patterns. I went in to buy a pattern and I'm like, the patterns aren't on sale. Or our patterns are always 20% off. Really?
Yeah.
And patterns, I had no idea how expensive patterns had gotten. Because the last time I bought a pattern, they were running $5, $6. They're $20 now.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I go up there thinking I'm going to get to use a coupon. And they're like, oh, these are already on sale. This is on sale?
That's the same with our seniors discount. If it's on sale, you don't get the discount as well. So when you're looking at your docket, this is at the grocery store, you see how much you saved in specials and how much you saved with your discount. And sometimes it's better if it's not on sale because it's such a piddly little amount that you get off sale, you know. Yes. You got to watch your penny so you can buy more yarn.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yes.
That's exactly right. So.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, folks. We will see you next Sunday. Get ready to start.
Yeah.
And yeah.
For the 5th time, we could have had the things half done by now. With all that talk.
Yep.
Oh,
so yeah, I'm excited. I am ready to go. And don't forget, what are we making next week? We're making some kind. I'm thinking it's some kind of a.
Oh, the diagonal broken rib.
Yes, we're making some kind of a ribbed thing.
Again.
Diagonal broken rib square. Ooh, and then we're going to do stripes the next time after that. Diagonal broken rib square. And then the next one is we specifically started the crochet or the make along on a week when we didn't have a block. So we did that on purpose. All righty. We'll see you guys.
Sounds like you're a very savvy shopper, Amy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I do the same thing and always pick it up in store. And then I was sitting there, and the only thing I had ordered, because I didn't need anything else, the only thing I had ordered was this. And I was sitting there, and I clicked the little button, and it said, if I had asked them to bring it out to me, I would have got $5 more off my order if it was $10 or more. Well, they just didn't come to $10. And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to be aware of that for next time. So I would have got.
What do they mean if they bring it out to you? Like
if you sit in your car and you tell them to bring it to you, I would have got another $5 off instead of going and standing in line, which doesn't make sense, because if you go inside, you're going to buy something else.
Yeah, but also they've got wasting time going out to you and then going back into the store. Yep. Do you have to park in a certain place? Like if you parked right at the other end?
Yeah, there's a spot right there where if you park. Okay. So they must have known I parked in that spot, because it was a pickup spot. And I'm like, nobody ever parks here because nobody does the pickup anymore. And I know I had never parked there before. And I parked there, and I pushed the little button that says I'm here to let them know I was going to come in and pick it up, because you parked there and it said, walk in or bring it to me. And I put the walk in, and then it said, if you have us bring it to you, you can take $5 off your order of $10 or more. I'm like, oh, I will mark that next time.
Yeah.
But I thought, and actually I was kind of in a hurry, and sometimes their line is really long.
But is there any guarantee that it's going to get to you sooner by having them
not at all to you? But I have in the past, I have had them bring it out to me, and it's pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, for $5, yeah, definitely. Even if, like, you couldn't imagine you'd be waiting any longer than if you were in the store.
No, because I'll tell you what, I have been in that line, and there's been 15, and they only ever have one cashier. They never have two people open. And I was sitting there thinking, man, if they've only got one cashier, how are they gonna? Those poor cashiers at Joann's, they are, chronically understaffed. And I'm like, are they going to pull somebody from where? And the poor kiddo, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't have this ready for you. And I'm like, what ready? You're standing there. You're going to open the gate, find it, and pull it.
Wow.
So, okay, got to go. I'll see you guys.
Have a great week, everyone.
We'll see you soon. I can't even think.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
One day. Bye.